Hey, greetings and salutations to you people of the interwebs. So today we're going to be taking a look at this guy. This is Toyseasy Tian. It's part of this battleship kind of combiner, basically. There's some web comic or web manga that this is based on. But I thought it looked quite interesting, so I wanted to give at least the first member a go and see what he's like. I love the like battleship grey and this red and thing that it comes in, and I think most of the team are all going to be in that same colour, so it should look quite exciting once they all come in. So we like a combiner, don't we? So Shang Tian um, translates as or is a Chinese headless god in mythology. So I'm not sure if the Titan itself is gonna, or the combiner itself is gonna be headless. I don't know, but that's just speculation, really, because I think just this member is called Shang Tian. I think the others might have different names. Well, he's a battleship. Maybe he's a Nautobot. Nautical Autobot? Nautobot? Come on. He's definitely not. He transforms, he forms a combined limb. Aesthetically, just looking at him, he's not really a transformer. He doesn't really fit in with a transformer kind of mythos. One, he's a battleship, so he'd be absolutely massive. And two, and I hate to use the phrase because it is quite reductive, he's very Gundam esque. By the way, word of warning now, he turns into a battleship, he turns into an arm, and some of the steps aren't that easy. So this might be a long video. I don't know why I'm warning you now. You can probably see from the time slider if this is a long video or not. But there you go. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Get it in within the first couple of minutes. Yeah. Right. Head is cool, but like I say, just the shape of it, the big bits coming off the visor or the eyes and the mouth plate, very Gundam. Very Gundam. It's on a ball joint. There's lots of wiggly waggly stuff. There is a little side plate there, so if you're wanting to look down a lot, you can cheat that. Um, got a nice universals at the arm. There's several points of articulation. It does suffer from what I like to call complex transformation articulation, which means as you try and move something and something else moves instead because there's a lot going on in the engineering. So you're going like, well, I want to move this, that, I want to move that arm joint, but instead the arm joint there moves instead. Bicep curl. Let's say you try and move the bicep, the waist moves. It's got a double jointed elbow, but because of the blocky nature of it, you can't really get that much as you would a single joint. There is a little inward arm curl there as well, should you wish to use it. The hands are on a swivel. We've also got a little bit of play to go inwards from the wrist joint, and he's got articulated finger and thumb. The thumb is just one solid piece on a ball joint, and the fingers are pinned, so they have just individual knuckles. You can't see with my fat fingers. honestly, if you want to see like the full demonstration of the kit of this, I think there's a YouTube channel called Son of Empire, which does some just absolutely just great, just going through this in a nice Ultra HD kind of just the figure, not some prat talking about it. But you know, we've made our YouTube journey involves me being a prat talking about robots in front of the camera. So if that's not what you're into, move away. Son of Empire, something like that, does really high detail kind of transformation videos. So that's what I've had to watch because it doesn't come with any instructions in the box. So you just have to kind of. And I did try and hard pan for that. We'll tell you the story about that when we get to some of the transformation parts, which, yeah. But, tragedy. But, yeah, honestly, it doesn't come with any instructions, and this is not something you particularly want to hard pan for. I got through it eventually, but it wasn't pretty. Let's just say that. So yeah, nice squeaky waist joint with an ab crunch. I've got these hip skirts that can move out of the way. Now there is a parts forming piece, which is this pin. It's this little piece on the crotch because he does have my least favorite transformation process, which is a split crotch thing. And without it, because you've got some plugs, you've got some little braces at the back, and you've got this little crotch piece. Without the actual bit pinned in, it just does not want to hold. And that's why I always find that when you put that split crotch on a transformation, it really ever, as soon as you want to start moving the legs, that crotch wants to split in half. Do you ever just think about what you're actually saying? Ridiculous. Right. Legs, universal. There's a soft ratchet in there. There is a thigh swivel. Again, you feel like things are coming unpegged when you do that. There is a double jointed knee that gets you about that high. And then we've got this swivel, squeaky at the ankle, with also an ankle tilt and a nice kind of, if you don't split the shin, you don't want to really be wanting to be splitting the shin, or moving that up, you can get a nice bit of articulation there as well. So yeah, it's got all your standard modern transforming robot toy articulation parts, but yeah, there's bits that just want to, while you're moving around, want to come unpegged. He's got his little butt engines here. Some fancy bit of jet backpack. And yeah, he does have some weapons. So he has these kind of big old blades. You move the fingers in, and these clip over the hands. So he's got two of these. Yeah, so you can go in hand to hand, fighty style. You want to take things out at range, and I just prefer this because, you know, obviously we're not quite prepared. It comes with this girder thing that has got a little adapter on it. I don't know if this is going to go towards some kind of mega weapon for the combined mode. Who knows at this stage? But you can flip those bits open, and then kind of, let's just, you You can try and get these missiles out. It's like ketchup. Come on. Let's get a little sword here. To sometimes if you're having missile dysfunctional order, sometimes you need to employ a sword to help yourself out. That's or a spodger. What we need to do is move these down. Like I say, a long video. This is going to be a long. There you go. Even more. You know it's trouble when the scissors come out. There you go, almost there. Pushed it the wrong way. There you go, big rocket. As you see, got 4 missiles coming out of this. They're all different sizes, which is, you know, pleasing to me. It might not be pleasing to other people who've got a bit more OCD about this. And then you can, to the back here, you can plug that into one of his pegs. You can have a over-the-shoulder missile launcher. You can also kind of remove these, and it comes with a stand, which we enjoy here. Nothing feels more premium than having a figure come with a stand, and this is a big, heavy plastic bastard, and it probably does a really good job. However, getting the actual boom of the stand out of here has, for me, so far proved an impossible task. I've been, you know, trying to use a spudger and everything, and actually, it's just, I'm just decaying the actual port of the stand here, trying to actually get this out. It is stuck in there. So, really, and there's like 2 little bits there that you can kind of try and push it out from the other side, but it's just like 2 very small pieces, and you've got all this back here. You could have easily just put it in like a very big kind of like just push here to get this out, but not with my fat fingers. I can't get the stand out of here. But in this, under the stand, you also have a couple of these that you can pull out. So these are more kind of things, so you can then take the blade. Oh, let's just, before we start putting that on, the stand does have a handle here, so you can have him holding this stand instead as a big shield. Obviously, we're already kind of going like, well, he's found this big boom cane, this big bit of scaffolding here to use as a weapon, transform as a weapon. That actually looks like it is something before it is a weapon. This is just a big shield thing that doesn't really, it's like, where's that come from? Cool, it's cool that it does that. It's cool that it has the versatility, that's the word, to do that, but again, it is kind of just, it's a big boy. It's a big heavy boy, and I want to do that. So yeah, you can get this. You can remove the sword, and you can replace it with pegging in one of these, in theory. And you can go for more like a minigun hand instead. So that's cool. Yeah, we like that. Size comparisons, that's what you want to see. Obviously, first up is our G.I. Joe, the classical G.I. Joe scale, with Raptor, the best Cobra accountant there is. So if that's, you want to display this for your G.I. Joe classic O-ring figures, that's how he scales. With your standard 6-inch Marvel Legend, here he is with the hood, holding the Autobot Matrix of Leadership. With Chugalicious Transformers, here he is with Kingdom Sideswipe. So yeah, I mean, obviously, being a battleship, it would be bigger than a Lamborghini, but would probably be significantly bigger. But in the world of Transformers and mass shifting, you can kind of get away with that. And because I was thinking, well, who would they go against, these guys? And there is, obviously, the Decepticons have more combiner teams than the Autobots. And it's like, which team of Decepticon combiners could they go against? The Autobots could obviously clash with the Sea Kaiju of the Seacons. So he's significantly bigger than the TFC. Kind of masterpiece, chugsterpiece. We can fit in any kind of scale Seacon limb. So yeah, he's just a little bit bigger than that, but I don't really have any kind of, I say that I don't really have any masterpiece combiners to hand, and I'm not dismantling Devastator. Yeah. Right. He is a transforming robot toy, so he does transform. Only Transformers that don't transform, they convert for reasons. So we're going to do that, and this is going to. The transformation gods, please let this go smoothly. It won't. Right. So we've got this back piece here. I need to flip that bit up, flip that down a bit. Kind of open these up. The head, squish down all these kind of head parts a bit. I'm finally getting these right. Is kind of, it's like you don't want to. You can. I think you can push it too far and then it doesn't go. But I think you need to kind of get it at a nice medium. But maybe I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see. The arms. So you have the bit that opens up there, the bit that holds in here. It goes to here. should go back in. Let's just pull that out again. So the thumb needs to be in. Kind of trying to get this so it will sit flush. Be able to. There you go. So we've basically bent it at the lower knuckles so it'll actually go in, and on the other side here, I ain't gonna be able to see shit that's going on. So again, I think this is a transformation where it's more about looking at the frustration on my face rather than actually what I'm trying to do with my big fingers, like knock the gun turret off. So this gun turret flips out from the arm well, is that what I'm going to call it? The well of arms. I'm going to bend these in, move them round, move the flap back down. So we're going to we'll probably need a spodger to get those arms out again. Luckily we're not doing it on this transformation. So then we get his arms to place here, move this like so, move these down, say peg those like so, like so. Like that. And we're already starting to look ship shape. Oh. Oh, fuck. That's a horrible laugh. Right, flip these bits out. These bits go, then spin around. This is, again, it's one of those transformations that works well when you consider the movement of all the pieces in isolation, but once you actually start moving it around in the real world, it starts to get a bit like, oh no, these arms, even though they're kind of transformed, they're starting to clash with what we're trying to do with the chest piece. So we move this piece out and then slide what was under his chin to the side. We could then start to push this head into there as we move that out and up. Before we do that, we need to get into the back here, and there's like a bridge section of the ship we need to pull out. Okay. So then all of this will flip around. Again, it's a case of trying to get the head through. Do we spin the head round? No, that's not going to work. It's about trying to get the head, like I say, these very artistic kind of head frills. Just just make a square head, guys. Just make a square head that can actually go through holes. Please. So now it just feels like this head is just kind of caught up on all the stuff that's going on around it. That fell off there was the piece, the crotch piece that was holding the crotch together. That's alright, it needs to come off. It's a parts forming piece and it does not go anywhere else. So right now we're just concentrating on this head of, you know what, we're just gonna, maybe we don't need to move the head. Maybe we're just moving stuff around that doesn't need to go through a hole like so. And if we leave the head in place, right, okay, yeah, so we were trying to push the head further back around when really we don't have to. We just can just have that there, and then this piece can peg in, and we have the bridge of the ship, people. We have the bridge of the ship. Awooga, awooga, this is not a drill. Okay. So, now, let us move this piece up. So we've got the combiner ports here. I think we need to say we need to move it in one more D10, but we're just going to have to contend with what we're doing, which is moving this around, moving those arms into position. There's a piece here on the shoulder, needs to flip up. So in a sense, it's all about getting these panels basically that form all these arms and legs and everything like that. And we've got the big clue is that battleship grey, red. You know, so as long as your battleship red and your battleship red, your battleship grey and your red, I suppose it could be battleship red, is going in the right directions, then you know you're getting somewhere. So there's these little panels here. They're gonna flip up. These arm things are gonna swing around. Arm things. These bits that were over the shoulder are gonna spin round. Gonna angle over, and you can kind of click those into place so they angle over. Like so. Again, it's kind of, I suppose the missile pods, I think the missile pods, they move round, then we have to move this around here. You have to kind of, there's some pegs on the combiner port that you need to kind of make sure these peg into, and there's like peg holes there, and slots there, and there's a peg and a tab on this combiner port, and you need to get these lined up just so, and actually wanting to peg in with each other, which they don't always want to do, because you know that would be easy. Sometimes this is like, seen as like the last video I did was the Bingo Toys Windblade, where it's kind of like, yeah, there's an alt mode ish, you know, just kind of do this, move this around, kind of move all this stuff on her back and make a jet that you could kind of say is a futuristic robot jet. This is like no, we're making a serious alt mode, you know what I mean? We're making a robot, and we're making a serious alt mode. I think where this pegs into, it doesn't always work for me. So for the sake of expediency, yeah, I don't know how many minutes we're in. Don't even know if we're still recording. It's one of those days. This is very much a kind of It's a passion project at this stage. It is a very much hey, let's make sure these panels are aligned kind of transformation. Let's see. There you go. There we go. So what we've done is we've just ignored the fact that the combiner port needs to be in there. We've just kind of moved it out just for the sake of actually getting this video finished today. Right, this needs to go back into place. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on the prayer. And we're working on the docks. Hey, here we go. Whoa. As you can see, the first hint that we've got here is that red, battleship grey. So we know we need to turn all that round. We do separate the crotch at this stage, because you didn't do it during transformation. What's the point in having it? And you've got to kind of move them so the inside of the crotch is now facing this way. But I think this is more of a complex maneuver. What we're going to do first is we're going to work on the feet. So flip in that central toe. These ankle wings, very naval, is we're going to flip those there. We're going to spin the foot around, and there's a tab, there's a hole, tabs full of holes, let me say. Then we're going to take this piece here, unpeg it, move it around this ball joint armature, and flip it over the foot. Again, move that round, armature, flip it onto the foot. These weird bits of fuselage, move those in. Move those in on both sides. Yep, so we're getting somewhere. Right, okay, so we have this piece here that you need to move up. And we have this piece here we need to unpeg. This piece, when I was originally trying to make it, I thought it went further back than it did. And I've managed to snap that off there. But by and large, because I don't think we don't need to move that off at this stage. That was the problem. I was trying to move that off to make way for this piece. I was trying to get that out of the way, and I thought it'd move back further. It doesn't. It's just that bit pops up. This bit comes into play later when you're trying to get the hand out for combined mode. So that can just stay pegged in and stay non-parts for me. This piece we need to kind of move that piece out, move this piece, we need to move all these little bits. I don't even know if fuselage is the right word, but those little pieces that again are just artistic flourishes, that he's got these little bits of side bit on his legs, serves no purpose other than to just get in the way. like I say, and then this bit then moves back at an angle to go there. Again, this is the same. You move this piece out and bend it further back, so it's going to go like so. Move this bit back here, place this bit down, and this bit clicks all that into place. As you see, we're starting to get this side of the ship sorted. Most of this is pegs and stuff like that, but for some reason on these feet parts they've done like the flanged pegs, so you have to actually make sure that one of them goes in underneath the other, because they don't just slot in, you have to kind of, and it just seems weird that most of the other parts are just straight tabs, but these ones are like, oh no, we're going to make this a very specific, tighter joint when you end up having to unpeg these more, especially when you're getting the hands out, as we'll no doubt see later on. So then this pegs into place. It's just a lot of this. So then that's when we now move these pieces together like so. These, what were the hip skirts, move them round so they're facing the right way. The reds, and the drinking game for today. Every time I say, oh, that's military grey. I've been selling military grey, haven't I? It's obviously navy grey. Oh, take a drink. Huzzah! Early season Red Dwarf references. These, where his bum flaps become the bottom of the ship flaps. I rejoice. Not quite rejoice, because we need to, back here we need to flip these up here like so. This jet engine backpack, we're going to move these like so. Move that see. And these final pieces click together. And other than this bit here that should be sat inside there somewhere, but like I say, it was going to take too long to figure how that goes. Oh, I forgot. We can It's probably best to do these before we join everything together. These little engines. I'm not sure what we call them. And then we have Xing Tian in the battleship mode. Now, the eagle-eyed of you will notice that there's some couple of gaps here and here. So here's another panel. I have one of them. One of them has, but they have a tendency to pop off. And so we've got one. The other one has disappeared to the floor gods, never to be found again. It's just pinged off. It just disappeared during transformation, and has never been found again. There we go. So that's the battleship. It looks brilliant. It looks great. Like I say, this is a serious alt mode. This is like, yeah, we're going to make our battleship as battleshipy as possible while maintaining having a transformation. It's just a very kind of let's squeeze panels together kind of transformation, but yeah, so there's two tones of grey there. Maybe it is battleship and military grey. I don't know. Battleship grey, that's what I was saying. Maybe it's battleship and navy grey. Battleship grey and navy grey. Battleship red. You just sank my battleship. You just transformed my battleship. So yeah, we can hold it like that for submarine mode, everyone. Yep. Right. And I've not even messed with these yet. This is like, if you ordered from Bombersby, they're one of the people who provide this. There's a look set where you get some little extras, and these are little just bits of stuff to put with your guys. So we've got these little firing rockets, and very, very tiny and intricate firing rockets that I believe can. We need to find like the correct one of these missile pods to put on, so you can kind of spend a lot of time putting various bits of steam and kind of whoosh. Here comes Thunder Child. Here comes Thunder Child. And also has a little stand here for the tiniest helicopter. It's like like so, and it even has, if that stand just falls off, it does have a spinning propeller, or spinning magnet. So yeah, you can have helicopters, you can have little missiles firing out, you can do lots of things with this guy, which, you know, is appreciated. I think especially for you guys who take photos and stuff. I can imagine all these little extras will be brilliant. But, you know, is what it is, and I don't think, you know, if I do invest in further limbs of this, I don't know if I'd go for the full-on extra packs. I think it was like an extra $10, which is in nowadays is an extra £10, isn't it? It was still an extra £5 and stuff. I'd definitely go for it. Little gun turret moves, but yeah. Stop moaning. Tian. Tian. I'm butchering the pronunciation here. That's not all he does, obviously. He's got a combiner mode. Wheesh, boy. So what we need to do is start separating pieces. Yeah. Like so. Move these out. Let's just I need to move this out while we peg this bit while we move this elbow joint around, then move it back again. Oh. Yeah. Yep, so we just need to peg all this bit. Spin this joint all the way around. Around. Yep, like so. While taking this opportunity, we will once more try to move the combiner port into the correct position. I think before we do all that, get all this stuff out of the way. Like I said, there's so many joints here. That's the problem. I've managed to I believe we need to move all this up. To push that tower back in, then again, wrestle with the head. Once again, I'm going to put these pegs together. So I don't know if I want to go in and kind of make the holes maybe a little bit bigger on the joints so that it will actually be toleranced a little better, or maybe, you know, just file them down or file the peg down slightly, because at the moment it's kind of just been a bit of a mess. So let's just imagine this is pegged in here for now. And this goes back up to where it was. Like so. There you go. Brute force sometimes. Brute force. There you go. Just a little bit of pegging there. What? Ryan Reynolds. Like so. So we're getting there. So now we just have this part to do, which again involves just getting in there, unpegging stuff. So this bit comes back out. So we have that bit like so. Then we kind of separate these entirely. At the knees here. Let's just get these out of the way. Yep, get these up like so. And let's say at the knees, you need to kind of pop these out. Pop them in again. Like so. And then you want to also move that round at the hip there, and then at what was a thigh swivel. Sorry, forgive me. Yeah, we're going to be able to see this, but again, it's trying to move two joints that are both moving in the same direction. But you just need to work it so that the phi rotation is going to be working for you in combined mode. So you just need to but it's hard to get into because, like I say, it's two joints, both are like in dignity and further on. Yeah, it's not like the reference. This is a destroyer of nails. We've almost got one of them. It's such a stiff joint. See that one? It's worked great. Let's just have a look. Is it because we've not done this yet? So we have better leverage. Yeah, there you go. No, we don't. It's just a mushroom peg. Basically, give him double joint elbow in combined mode, and again, because this has been a dick, we're just gonna, for the sake of imagine getting this far in the video and using hearing the word expediency of transformation after you've seen me struggle for I don't know how many hours this video long is. So flip these in. Remember to do this now. Pull these out. Let's see. Yeah, let's hold it. Yeah, I'm gonna unpeg that. remove that from its thing. Flip these round. That will move up like so. Then you can clip back down and kind of away with this. It's double jointed axis. That should allow that to then move back into place. Again, over here. So we want to move this up. Move that round. Flip this up. It is going to come off because that's the bit I snapped, as I previously said, because I'm a heavy-handed idiot, as we've demonstrated through the rest of this video. Move that fist up, move this again, make sure you're on, flip the rudders in, move that back, out and round, move this like hang about, hang about, hang about. We just forgotten some we've forgotten something very important at this stage, because we should just call this video like Transformers Disasters Areas Dangers, Welcome to the Danger Zone or something. At some point within this, because obviously we've done the arms, we've done the legs, and we've moved a little bit around the body. Of course we have to do some even more stuff within the body before we can do transforming things. So let's just move those out, and we'll unjangle the legs for a second. That's what we need to do, is these bits of the ship here, these need to go back to they need to fold back in. Which is easier said than done, because it's like, do I need to, oh my days, do I need to untransform everything to move that? That was probably another bit of ship that came off. That was the lock for the another. So